And Mark, we got to start with the FA Cup. Manchester United, the holders, going out yesterday on penalties, losing to Fulham. Thoughts?
Yeah, well, we had a flight as well out of the FA Cup yesterday afternoon. Yeah, I mean, look, boots on the other foot. We knocked Arsenal out on penalties, and that's when it hits penalties, it's disappointing, but it's a lottery, isn't it? And I was very angry at the end of the game because I just wasn't happy with the penalty takers. But we've seen that before. We've seen it. We're old enough to remember Southgate stepping up, and you're going, why? And I sort of felt that with Lindelof, but yeah, Fulham were in that game as well. I don't think they deserve to lose it in 90 minutes or extra time. So penalties, well, fair play to Fulham. The FA Cup is quite interesting with a lot of teams in it. But with Man United, I mean, I didn't think we would be... I thought Fulham may be favourites going into the game, and I thought we did okay. But yeah, I mean, the quality issue is very, very clear. I think they battled. It was very similar to the Arsenal game. I think it was a battling performance from United. I can't really take a pop at players for lack of application, but this is the same as what it was with Ten Hag at the start of the season. I mean, the team needs ripping up and rebuilding, and the big concern is I don't know that these owners have any intention of doing that when they're making cuts at the other end. But it needs. I know it's a cliche, and we speak about Arsenal needing a striker and this, that, and the other, but every football club that's won anything is built on finance. And that United side, especially because of the way Amrin wants to play, it clearly needs a lot of money spending on it. My only issue with Amrin was at the end when he was talking about winning the Premier League. I thought that's just not, there's a time and a place to read the room. But yeah, I mean, just disappointing. It's all about the Europa League now, but the way we're playing, we've got no chance. It's going to be our worst ever season in Premier League history.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not really... I mean, he got pretty rattled as well at Wayne Rooney having a go at him, saying he's a little bit naive. And Ruben Amorim's going to start coming under pressure soon because, this is a horrendous run. And yeah, you're right, it was a battling performance and that, but I don't know, man. I'm still expecting more of Manchester United, you know what I mean? And they just look... I don't know. It's just teams are going to Old Trafford and thinking to themselves they can turn them over. That fear factor's gone. And I don't know, the performance. I still look at those players and say, they're better than that. I mean, the performance was still very, very poor.
Yeah, it was. And I think, but I remember this time last year, and it's a lot of it's the same players, bar probably 3 or 4. There's something fundamentally not quite right there. And I think, look, it irritates me, and I'm sure many people watching will be the same. I'm sure you're the same, Robbie. You know Arsenal better than anybody. It's your club. And I'm tired of, Danny Murphy yesterday was on BBC talking about changing the formation. What to, Danny? Like a 4-3-3? We haven't got any wingers. We couldn't play a 4-3-3. But it would be like me... it would be like somebody, getting hold of AFTV and saying it's all about Arsenal, and then the views drop a little bit, and they say, "Robbie, Chelsea are doing well. Start talking about Chelsea. You're Arsenal." I don't have a problem with people talking about the system, but Amorim can't change the system. It's like asking you to start talking about.
No, but Chelsea. Why can't he change it?
Because it's like we just said. You're AFTV. If I know that. Well, you're not going to start talking about Liverpool. He is. No,
I know that. I know that, Mark. Right, but
he's a 3-4-3. Right? That's all he's ever done. It's not on him. My bigger point is, why did INEOS bring him in? Why did they bring in a manager that very clearly is not going to suit that team and is very clearly not going to get backed? If you're going to bring Thomas Tuchel in or Ruben Amorim in the way that they play, you've got to have a plan B. It's almost like they went, he's a good manager that everyone's talking about. He'll solve the problems. And that's just so naive. They should have gone, he's a good manager with a really good system, but it's going to cost us about $500 million to build this team together. And they've sort of gone, all these players that failed in a 4-3-3 with Ten Hag, you use them in a 3-4-3. And you sort of look at it and go, I get the chat about the formation. I get it. But it's not on Amorim. He's been brought in and that is what he is. And you've got to look at INEOS and say, a lot of United fans are saying now, we should have kept Ten Hag till the summer. The money we spent, 20-odd million to sack him and replace him, would we be in a worse position with Ten Hag? And that's not on Amorim. That's on the decision that the board have made again, which at the moment looks very, very odd unless they're going to spend a shitload of money in the summer.
I'll tell you what, right? This FA Cup is really opened up for an underdog team to win it.